Okay, the legend of Ruby Sunday was insane. I was like at the edge of my seat the whole time. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm like going really mad with speculation right now, and I thought I'll make a video on all the clues and coincidences. Now, some of these clues are red herrings, some of these are actual clues, and some of them are just things that I'm seeing that aren't there. And yeah, let's talk about them. Okay, so Wild Blue Yonder is when the TARDIS started acting weird, right? So I wonder if the not things have a connection to the pantheon of Discord. So Sutekh is based on the Egyptian deity Seth or Sutekh, and Seth is portrayed as different animals like hyenas or aardvarks or jackals. But towards the later period, he started being portrayed as a man with a horse head or donkey head. So, and in Wild Blue Yonder, there was that astronaut, that dead astronaut, who had the head of a horse or donkey. I thought that's an interesting coincidence. I don't know if it's connected though, but I guess we'll find out. Oh, and this episode is also the first appearance of Susan Twist character, and the TARDIS disappeared in this episode for a bit, so I wonder if that's when Sutekh got in. But yeah, this episode is definitely significant. It's where everything started. Okay, anyway, so while I was searching around, I came across this old comedy skit called The Bass Player by Kids in the Hall. It's like a Canadian sketch comedy group. Okay, so there's a line in that skit called "The mother, the father, the serpent, the priest, the foreman, the woman, the widow, the beast." Uh, Okay, I think that line kind of weirdly fits in with what's going on in this arc, in this season. And there's like three comments under this video, and there's one comment from 3 weeks ago, and they're talking about writing a novel where these eight figures are like the pantheon of gods. Anyways, that's weird. That's a strange coincidence, and it's probably just me seeing things that aren't there. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. Okay, so in this line, there's the mother, the father, and the harbinger mentioned that, right? The mother, the father, the other. Yeah, and so there's the serpent. Serpent could be Sutekh wrapped around the TARDIS. Sutekh's helmet in his original appearance has a snake, and this could also be the Trickster, as the Trickster has used serpents before. Also, in Christian mythos, serpent tricked Eve into eating the fruit. So, yeah, serpents and trickery, there's like some connection there. Okay, now the priest could be the harbinger or Susan Triad or someone else. So, in the original appearance of Sutekh, there was a man named Ibrahim who was a worshipper of Sutekh, and we do have an Ibrahim in unit. I really like this character though. I hope he's not connected to Sutekh, but it's a bit suspect. Uh, in the Pyramid of Mars, so there was another servant too. Yeah, and he killed Ibrahim. And that other servant said that this line that I bring Sutekh's gift of death, which is what Susan Triad's character says after she changes. So yeah, I think Susan is the priest, and the foreman could be Susan Foreman. She's been name dropped a lot to just not do anything, but Susan being mentioned so much could just be a red herring to throw us off. And anyway, so Time Lords, they have titles like the Doctor, the Master, the Rani, but Susan didn't have any title. So I wonder if the Foreman is her title. That would be interesting. Oh, by the way, the Legend of Ruby Sunday, this episode came out one day before Carol and Ford's birthday. She just turned 84. Hope she had a good birthday. Um, okay, and the woman, I think it's Ruby's mother, or it could be Susan. There are many mystery women this season. It could be Ruby herself. And there's also a kind woman being mentioned in the casting for next episode. So maybe that's what it is. The widow, I think this Mrs. Floods fits the widow here. Because there's no Mr. Flood. And we know she was married because she's Mrs. and not Miss. And the beast. Okay, so Carla mentioned something about the beast when she saw that. That was weird. Like, what was she talking about? Anyways, yeah, this is just. It is probably me seeing things that aren't there, but yeah, it was weird and I just wanted to talk about it. Okay, now moving on. So, in the original pyramids of Mars, Doctor traps Sutekh in the time corridor, and I think the time corridor was in the Priory. So the Priory was a building which got burned down, and the units building was built on top of it. And I think the current building of unit that looks like the Avengers Tower, that's where Sutekh was originally banished as well. So maybe that's why Sutekh revealed himself here, because it had to be in this location. Yeah, and that's another thing I'm curious about, because why did Sutekh wait this long to reveal himself? And he only did so when Kate Stewart demanded it. Maybe he was planning on messing with the doctor for even longer, but now he knew the ruse was up. Or I wonder if he's trapped on the TARDIS, like he can't escape the TARDIS. Maybe he's trapped on the TARDIS the same way he was trapped by Horus. So yeah, that's interesting. I guess we'll find out next episode. Okay, so in the comics, Sutekh makes an appearance. So Sutekh, he left a psychic imprint of himself in his son Anubis's mind. And yeah, that imprint, he calls himself Anubek. Anubek taught him to step sideways into the void. And in the void, Sutekh made many deals with the various horrors banished there. So I think that the Osirian pantheon and the pantheon of Discord are different. Sutekh is a foreigner to the pantheon of Discord. And Sutekh in Egyptian mythology is the god of foreigners, so that kind of fits. Sutekh also had relationships with the foreign goddesses Anat and Astarte. Okay, and now, so in Egyptian mythology, many of the gods had shape shifting powers. We have seen two groups of shapeshifters in this series. Firstly, the Not Things in Wild Blue Yonder, and secondly, the Chalders. And the Chalders and Rogue were teleported to some unknown dimension through a triangular portal. I don't know if that has anything to do with the finale, because it seemed like its own thing. But yeah, Seth's enemy was Horus, and Horus had the head of a bird, and the Chalders are bird humanoids, so that's why I mentioned it. If the Chalders are involved, then Rogue might be too, but I think the Rogue episode is its own thing and not connected to this finale. Okay, and now let's talk about Mrs. Floods. She mentioned about always hiding herself away, and the doctor was explaining about how Time Lords change faces to hide themselves away sometimes. Now, people are suspecting all sorts of things, like her being the master. So, we saw a woman pick up a golden tooth which contained the master. We don't know who that woman is, so it could be Mrs. Floods, who knows. We do know that the woman had red nail polish and Kate Stewart was shown to have red nail polish in 73 yards. I don't know if we're going to get a master reveal in the season finale. Though Russell T. Davis, he did say that Doctor is going to face his oldest enemy here, and isn't the Master his oldest enemy? I don't know. Because the Master and Doctor, they go way back. They were like kind of rivals when they were still in Gallifrey, weren't they? They were friends and rivals. Yeah. But I don't think it's the Master. Yeah, because the Master usually gets a lot more setup before their reveal. So I don't think it's the Master. Okay, next is Rani. So Rani was mentioned once, and there hasn't really been any other hint about her. Some are saying Rani equals to rain equals to floods, but that seems like a stretch to me. Then we have people saying she could be River Song, because river equals floods. They're both water themed, and Ruby has a hidden song in her, as Maestro said, and snow is another form of water as well. But again, I'm not sure. So maybe, yeah, some people are saying River is Ruby's mother, and but yeah, I don't know. There hasn't been too much setup for that. And next is people saying she's Susan, and Susan is talked about a lot, so she could still appear, but I'm not sure. And so Mrs. Floods has some really strong fourth wall breaking power, and that makes me think she's above the Time Lords and maybe a part of the Pantheon, but again, I'm not sure. And that's the end of the video. If you have your own theories, please let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video.